Molly Jong-Fast, who is a left-wing journalist of sorts, left-wing character at least, went on MSNBC to make the claim that usual left-wing claim that anyone they don't like is racist and sexist and this and that. But she really stepped in it. She did even less research than most liberal journalists do, and they're already quite lazy and ignorant. She said that JD Vance, he only wants there to be more white children in America.
The stats are there. More and more Americans choosing not to have kids, which again emphasizes why JD Vance's comments about childless Americans, childless cat ladies, could be so politically damaging.
Well, so what's interesting is this natalism that comes from an authoritarian playbook, right? That there need to be more white children, right? That's the idea that there's, this is about great replacement theory, racism, right? This is what this is. So don't misunderstand it for him wanting more children. He wants a certain kind of, racist thing.
JD Vance doesn't want there to be more children. When he says that it's good to have families and have kids, he doesn't want there to be more kids generally. He only wants there to be more white kids, which is why he married an Indian woman and has biracial children. Wait, what? Whoops, huh? What? This woman. If Molly Jong-Fast did not exist, the conservatives would have to invent her. She doesn't even Google the man. She doesn't even look at a picture of his family. She's doing a segment. She's pontificating on JD Vance's understanding of family. She doesn't even Google JD Vance's family to realize he's married to an Indian and he has biracial children. No, he's probably a racist. He's a conservative. He's probably a racist. This reminds me, some years ago, a black liberal activist went on David Webb's show, and she accused David Webb, a conservative radio host, of white privilege. That's a radio show. So you call into the radio show. You're not on TV. You don't see people. And David Webb just starts laughing. And she goes, "Why are you laughing at me?" And he says, "Lady, if you knew who I am, I don't think you would be accusing me of white privilege because I'm a black guy." And it was a beautiful interview. I hope we can find the clip somewhere in the annals of the internet, because it showed you how disingenuous all these accusations are. It's just the knee-jerk reaction. So-and-so is racist. So-and-so is white privilege. So, and they don't care. They don't even Google it. And even if they did Google it, Google rigs the search results anyway, so they probably wouldn't see anything even resembling the truth. But it's hilarious when it turns up. Now, before we move on from Molly Jong-Fast, I want to point out her first remarks. She says this natalism. Natalism is a fancy left-wing scare word for thinking it's good to have kids. That's what it means. You know the thing that statistically everyone forever has thought? Yeah, now that's a terrible, scary, evil, far-right ideology. She says that wanting to have kids is an ideology that is authoritarian, far-right, racist. If you want to have kids, you're probably a fascist. You're basically Hitler if you think it's good to have children. Her saying this totally vindicates JD Vance's joke that he made on a TV show years ago that the libs are trying to make a big deal out of. On the TV show, he said, we're being governed by all these childless cat ladies. That's a problem. He's obviously not making fun of people who have suffered infertility. He's obviously not making fun of people who, for whatever reason, haven't had children. He's not making fun of nuns. He's not making fun of people in consecrated celibacy. He's making fun of a political type. He's making fun of a political ideology. And Molly Jong-Fast is proving it. Right? The rejoinder from the libs to JD Vance is, how dare you mock people who don't have children? How dare you mock people who, through personal circumstance, haven't had children, haven't been able to have children? But obviously, JD is making a political point, and Molly Jong-Fast admits it. She says, yeah. I view having kids as a political action. This is about a political ideology. We're going to call it natalism, and it's evil, and I condemn it, and we should discourage people from having children, because having children is far right and fascist and evil and extreme, and you're proving JD Vance's point. Thank you, Molly Jong-Fast. That's so beautiful. And you're also proving JD Vance's point that you guys have no idea what you're talking about, because you call him a racist white supremacist who only wants white kids, and his kids are half Indian. Speaking of Indians, Kamala Harris. This was a doozy. It made the rounds last night. Kamala Harris is hitting the campaign trail, And people are noticing a change in Kamala Harris. Not a change in how she looks, not a change in how she dresses, but a little bit of a change in how she talks.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So let's get right.
And we gonna do it again, man. You know that, across 110th Street. Pimp's trying to find a woman that's weak. You know what I mean, man? Jive turkey? That's right. Well, we're moving on up. That's not how I remember Kamala Harris speaking. I'd listened to Kamala Harris a fair bit, more than I'd like to. And she seems to speak differently than that. That sounded a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more jive to me, didn't it? It kind of reminded me of when Hillary Clinton hit the campaign trail in 2008, and she started to sound a little bit different than she used to.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Yeah, in Kamala's defense, Hillary's black voice was way worse and sillier than Kamala's. I'm not saying Kamala's was subtle. It's not. I'm not saying Kamala's was natural. Kamala Harris, though she is now presenting herself as, I don't know, Malcolm X, the lady Malcolm S.X. or something. She's half Indian and then half Afro-Caribbean. So she really doesn't have any link to the African-American culture whatsoever. And she just speaks like an ordinary American. She doesn't have it. So even if she came out and, sort of put on a little bit of an Indian accent, that would be crazy, but you'd at least, okay, I guess maybe she heard that in the house as a child from, I don't know, or if she came out like, well, we're going to come to Jamaica and feel all right, man, one love. And then you'd say, well, again, kind of strange, Kamala, but maybe there's some heritage thing there. But for her to put on the accent, the caricature and stereotypical accent of American black vernacular is completely disingenuous. She has no connection to that whatsoever. She's doing it for the same reason Hillary Clinton did it, for the same reason a lot of politicians do it, which is that politicians, all people are mimetic. We imitate others. That's how this is the theory of René Girard. It's how we cultivate even our desires. It's how we cultivate our behaviors and our tics and our speech patterns and all the rest. And politicians are even more in tune with this than other people because their job is to appeal to people and to find common ground with people. So, I give politicians a little bit of grace on it. Even Hillary, I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far. She's probably doing that unwittingly. Unconsciously. I think Kamala Harris does most things unconsciously. I don't think she's necessarily the most self-aware human being that there is. But it is an amazing identity transformation. She once posited herself as the, one of the first Indian American women to do this, to do that. And that's changed now. The dynamics of a presidential campaign, it serves her purposes much better to be the first black woman. And so now, get ready. We live in an age of identity transitions. She's about to undergo a big one. That was a great clip. Now, hold up, ring the bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.